back to do my predictions for UFC on Versus 1. No, it's not on Versus anymore, it's on Fox. I've yet to decide if I think that that's a brilliant idea or not. And you know, this card is not as star-studded as it could be for something like that, and I think that's because, in terms of Fox itself, this is a bit like a sort of warm-up. As far as I know, only the main event is actually being broadcast, so I'm not sure. We'll see. We'll see how it goes. Going to start at with the main event, and then I'm going to work my way up from the bottom. We've got Cain Velasquez and Junior Dos Santos, and this is for the heavyweight championship. Now, Cain Velasquez, who has never seen a loss, in fact, he hasn't fought since Brock Lesnar last year, which was his acquisition. In one respect, I hope that he keeps the title. If nothing else, because he's actually an American Kickboxing Academy fighter, and Dana White doesn't like AKA, or had a big thing about AKA at one point in time. And I think it will do him good to have an immovable roadblock for a while at that level. On the other hand, I like Junior Dos Santos, and I do recognise that he has worked his way up. He's on an 8-fight win streak, and his record is 13-1, so that's actually just about as good, and possibly he has a lot more experience. He's also trained under Nog, I believe, so you know, this does have the potential to be very, very exciting. It also has the potential to be over very quickly, because they're both very good strikers. I think this is going to be a TKO, and I'll put it in round 2, and I actually favour the challenger. So I'll put it as TKO for Junior Dos Santos in the second, but I don't mind who wins this one. Aaron Rosa is fighting Matt Lucas. Aaron Rosa is coming off his loss to the Mexicutioner. Matt Lucas, this is his debut. He is on a 5-fight win streak. They both like stand-up, so this is likely to be one that takes place on their feet. I think there's not a lot in this one, to be totally honest. I might go for Aaron Rosa by decision. Mike Pierce is fighting Paul Bradley, and this is not the first time they have done this. In fact, this is quite interesting. Paul Bradley has already lost once to Mike Pierce. It was a decision loss in 2009. The next fight after that victory for Mike Pierce was straight into the UFC. So, that's quite interesting now, that he happens to be fighting Paul Bradley on his debut into the UFC. So, this has a bit of a grudge match written on it, I reckon, probably. Or at least it could be made, anyway. Paul Bradley, he's 18-3, and he has 6 wins by decision, 6 wins by TKO, and 6 wins by submission as well. So he's 6-6-6 at the moment. I just thought that was rather exciting. I don't know why. Where are we? He's come off a loss in his debut. Sorry, I don't think he is a debutee. Mike Pierce, on the other hand, likes to win by TKO. Does have a habit of losing to only reasonable calibers. Those include people like Johnny Hendricks. I'm going to actually favour Paul Bradley on this one, just because I think he's already fought once and lost, and it always gives the person who lost the first time, I think, a better chance of winning the second one. I'll go for decision now. Alex Caceres and Cole Escovedo. You know, Alex didn't even win, if I remember, the tough episode, series that he was in. So I have no idea why they keep inviting him back. His record is 5-4, and he's just got a string of losses, basically. He only ever loses by submission, and this time he's facing 2 losses in a row. They've put him up against Cole, who has a record of 17-8. He is coming off a loss, and he does also lose to reasonable calibers. But Alex Caceres is nothing more than a funny name that the UFC sort of liked because of his character. Cole has 10 submission victories, okay? And Alex loses by submission. Need we say any more? We're going to go for an RNC, again, that'll be the 3rd time in a row, in the first. Makin Semazaya is fighting Robert Peralta. Semazaya comes in with the lower record. He's 6-3. He's also a Sucker Punch affiliate, is he? Likes to win by submission, and he's associated with Team Curran. Now, Robert Peralta has a better record, 15-3. He does have 11 TKO victories, so this is probably going to be striker versus groundsman with Mackins on the ground. He's also on an 8-fight win streak. I have to say this is quite a tough one, I reckon, for Mackins. However, the one thing in his favour about all this is that Robert doesn't seem to have many calibers, if any, on his record. I think I'm going to go for Mackins, but I'll go for split decision. Split decision victory there. And then the squash match of the card is poor Darren Yama, or whatever his name is. This is the first fight he's got this year, that he's been in this year. And he's got a record of, I don't know, something stupid like 5-2 or something like that. And they've put him against Kid Yamamoto, who may be on the way down, but he's not that far down. Squash match, this written all over it. Poor Darren is going to get squashed, probably quite badly, in the first round. So I'll go for bar submission in the first there. And this is the true tougher match. These people not only are facing each other, having both been on tough, but they've also, in their past sort of history, spent all their time fighting toughers, more or less. We've got DeMarcus Johnson and Clay Harbison. DeMarcus has the better record, but they're both coming off losses. I think that I'll go for a decision victory here for Johnson. This match is one that I'm quite interested in as well, because how he's ended up this far up the card, I don't know. This is Cub Swanson with a record of 15-4. Listen to his record. Loss, win-win, loss-win, loss-win. I don't like Cub Swanson. I have never truly liked Cub Swanson, but I really, really now don't like Cub Swanson. I haven't liked him since, well, I didn't really know him before he fought Jens Pulver, but what he said was truly absolutely outrageous, and he got squashed for saying it, and it serves him right, and I haven't liked him ever since. I did have personal correspondence with him for a while as well, which didn't help. He's facing Ricardo Lamas, who happens to be somebody that I like, and a Sucker Punch affiliate, of course. He's got a not quite as good record, 10-2. However, he does have the ability, certainly, to not just beat Cub Swanson, but to finish him. I know that for a fact, and I think that's what he's going to do. So we'll go for a bar submission in the second there by Ricardo Lamas. Another one that's quite exciting, Dustin Poirier is fighting Pablo Garza. 10-1 for Dustin, 11-1 for Pablo. And this one is going to be groundsman versus stand-up. And it's Dustin that's taking the striking, and Pablo who's going to want to finish on the ground. Now Dustin Poirier has a 3-fight win streak, which is good, but Pablo Garza has possibly faced higher calibers. This one is going to be very, very close as well. Very close. I might just give it to Pablo Garza. No, I'm going to go for a draw. I think it's that. I do think it's going to be extremely close, that one. And the last one, Clay Guida is fighting Benson Henderson. Clay Guida's stupid record, 29-11. 15 submission victories. Benson Henderson, 14-2. He also likes to win by submission, but I don't see him finishing Clay Guida by submission. Guida has a 4-fight win streak at the moment. He's a bit off and on in terms of calibers. Usually he's beaten by calibers, but not always. I think Benson Henderson has it in him to win this one, but I do feel he has to be absolutely on top form. I'll go out on a limb and say I think he'll win it. Might go for decision. That could be an extremely exciting match. I mean, all matches featuring Clay Guida are exciting because of the hair, but this one does have the ability and the potential to be even better.